This is part two to the Addressing Mental Health with Tamara Houston and why she is inspired to mentor the lives of people. So, for this segment, which we will be wrapping up the podcast, I want to ask Tamara, is there anything else that you would like to share about mental health, self care, and mentoring others? Is there any like message that you would like to leave the listeners with? Any type of encouragement or advice during these times for like the everyday person?
Absolutely. I would just say I have a few tips here, but I would say the main thing is just recognizing that you are important. And if that's hard for you to recognize, then finding some supports to help you kind of work on that realization, because that's really where it starts. If you don't feel like you're worthy of taking care of yourself, um, if you don't feel like you're worthy of taking care of your parts, including your mental health, that's a problem. That's an awareness that you need to have, number one. Um, so I think, just one, having that awareness that you are important. Just a few things that I will add in terms of self-care. And I think you had asked a few questions earlier about, um, people that are coming into the field, students and stuff like that, just kind of figuring all this out. So I think this is a message for everybody, is engaging in affirmation exercises wherever you are. Like, mentally you may, feel really good, and things may be well, but I think just kind of having that in your pocket, some messages that you can repeat to yourself, or things that you have up to remind you, like, keep going. Don't stop. Life gets hard. Like, again, I mentioned earlier about, 2019, we were not planning for none of this stuff that's going on right now, but it's here. And we still have to manage, and it doesn't all feel good, but I don't think, all of life feels good. There's going to be trials and tribulations. There are going to be periods of refinement. I think the other side of that, there's healing, though. We come out better. I feel sure that we're going to come out of this better and stronger. I believe that personally. And especially if we do the work. So having some affirmation exercises would be helpful. Engaging in some type of mindfulness exercise as well, whether that is prayer. So that's engaging that spiritual piece. If that's meditation or yoga, just something to help you focus on the here and now. The problem with not focusing on the here and now is you miss out on stuff. You're thinking about what happened in the past. You're focusing on what's happening in the future, but life is happening right now. So you need to have the opportunity to just kind of be still and sit in what is going on now, and being able to engage in that. So I think that's important. Having an accountability partner, I think, is another great thing as well. The accountability partner, of course, holds you accountable, but I think the thing is this should not be somebody that's like your friend that tells you everything you want to hear. You know what I mean? Or that person that tells you to hear. This needs to be somebody, I think, that one is perhaps in a place that you would like to be.
Okay.
Whether that's career, whether, you're looking at them, you're like, that's, that woman right there got it. And I want that, you know what I mean? Or that dude right there, he got his life together. Like, I really, can see him as a role model or something. But somebody that's really going to, I think, hold your feet to the fire, but also encourage and praise you when you are doing well and making good decisions. So I think that's important. Feeding yourself, and not just from the nutrition standpoint. Of course, we need to eat well. We need to eat better for our physical health and our mental health as well. But knowledge, feeding yourself knowledge. It's okay to pick up a book. Like, we should not be getting all of our information from social media. There's a ton of, great books out there and great resources, and, learning a new skill. Right now, I have seen so many businesses and organizations pivot to offering virtual, educational opportunities and stuff. There's a lot of free things being offered through Harvard, through University of Georgia, some other, Yale, I think even, like, there's just a lot of free resources out there that you can tap into and feed yourself some good information. Just getting back to the basics, just spending time with family. I think some of this has definitely created more space for us to be able to do that. If there are family issues, getting the supports that you need to fix those. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable knowing that those tensions in your life, that your relationships are not well. All of those things need to be taken care of. And I think my last point is, in terms of self-care, is to mind your own business. I think that goes a long way.
Always.
Just mind your own business.
I do that every day.
You don't have to be the person that is interjecting and getting into everything that's going on with everybody else. I mean, goodness sake, it's a lot going on. And I
think that goes into boredom, like when you're bored with your own life. So
absolutely. So that's why you need to get a hobby or something. You know what I mean? So do that. Mind your own business. And I think that, having an accountability partner can help hold you to that as well. If that's all you're talking about is what's going on with, Larry, Sue, and whoever else, there's somebody that can be like, you know what, you seem to be awfully worried about what's going on with them, but you got this going on. How about, you focus some attention on this area. The goal all the way around is just achieving the best you. And you made this point in the first part about just it takes time to do so. So you don't have rush the process or feel like, if I'm not better, if I'm not different by next week, or, if I don't have this business after, we get this vaccine for COVID and, all this stuff, and I don't come out of this thing bust wide open, you know what I mean? And just doing all these big things or whatever, you putting a whole lot of pressure on yourself. You can actually take this time right now to get to know yourself, engage in some self-care, take care of your mental health. And I think to your point, which is part of your podcast, is sometimes one of the best things for us to do to keep our minds off of all the things that may not be going well for us is to be able to reach back and help somebody else in our lives. That's that mentorship piece. So I do think that's important as well, is to find ways that you can give back and support other people in your life. So I think that really just kind of brings that full circle. You got your mentorship, you got your self-care, and you're making sure that you take care of your mental health as part of the whole you.
We just said it all, you all. So today we had the wonderful Tamara Houston, and I hope that you all enjoyed our podcast. And Tamara, is there any social media outlets or any other email that you would like to share with listeners?
Absolutely. So again, we are in Greenville, South Carolina, with Renewal Life Counseling. We are actually licensed in South Carolina, in North Carolina, and in New Jersey, and working on licensure in a couple of more states. So you can check out the website, which is www.renewallifecounseling.com. We're also on social media. Facebook is going to be Renewal Life Counseling, and it's Renewal, RENEWAL, Life, LIFE. So sometimes people be like, it got two L's in it. Yeah, it's Renewal Life.
Right.
That's on Facebook. We are on Instagram. It's Renewal Life _RLC. The same on Twitter as well. My business, Houston Consulting, is primarily, it's more niche oriented. So it's focused more on, again, working with female entrepreneurs that are in private practice. So if you happen to be one of those people out there, or even interested in going into private practice, like I said, I do have mentorship slots open. So you can go onto Facebook, and that is at Houston Consulting, the number 1. Okay, Houston Consulting, number 1, and it's the same thing on Instagram as well. I don't advertise as much for the Houston Consulting because it's been more word of mouth. So I don't really have to do a whole lot with it. Like I said, that's just a second stream of income for me. So I can talk about that as well, developing other streams of income. For the Renewal Life Counseling, we are telehealth. So we're offering those sessions, which can be either video or telephone, depending on your insurance. So we do accept insurance, we accept Medicare, we accept Medicaid, and also private pay.
Okay.
We're connected to a couple of organizations where we have some pro bono spots. Those get taken pretty quickly, so you can call and ask. We may have something open at that time, but if not, I can assist in referring you to another provider. And then I also have some contractors that are doing some in-office sessions. Of course, COVID is alive and well right now, so we have protocol to be able to come into the office for those office sessions as well. So we're offering both, but you can reach out to us. The email is info@renewallifecounseling.com. So that would be the best way to get an answer from me, is either emailing there, or you can also go into the website, check us out, see what our individual specialties are, and how to go about getting services started.
Well, today we had Tamara Houston on the MR podcast, and I thank you all for listening. I hope that you enjoyed the topics we covered, and I hope that the rest of you have a nice day. Goodbye.
All right.